When you're trying to figure out what you should do as a career, it won't take long until somebody comes across your path and says, well, just do what you're passionate about. Yeah, right? So go ahead, just go do that. The challenge with that statement is you're like, I'm passionate about a good cup. I love a good cup of coffee. So what does that mean? Am I like a barista? Should I start growing some coffee plants? I mean, like where does that take you? Truth be told, a recent study was done that found 96% of people's passions were hobbies. They were, I love to play baseball. I love to, go to a movie on the weekend. I really love good food, and so all of these things have nothing to do with the career. And yet this passion thing is a very real thing. You and everybody else knows when you've got it. When you watch somebody, I put that little guy on there who's running the track meet for a reason, right? Like that dude is all in. But you look at that and you're like, I would love to be like freeze frame in that picture and like I'm awesome, right? As long as it stays in that picture. But halfway around the track, I'm like, I don't have that passion, and you can't fake it. At least you can't fake it for long. A lot of people will just say, well, fake it till you make it. Just be like, I am passionate about running around that track. I am passionate about working on the help desk. It doesn't work. You're gonna end up regretting it at the very end because you're just burnt out, right? So You kind of go, okay, well, I got to find my passion. So then you start going down the roads of, coffee beans or Marvel movies or baseball. And you're like, okay, where's this going to lead me? And it may lead to a passion, but it's not typically going to align with a career. And this is where that statement comes from. Do what you love. You know where that came from, by the way? Steve Jobs, in his famous Stanford commencement speech, he's like, the world needs people that love what they do, and everybody, of course, everybody's clapping and cheering, but all these poor Stanford students, when they walked out of the stands, are like, so what do I do? So I thought I would start a series of videos focused around this passion. You'll hear these kind of statements all the time. Follow your passion, right? That's what I just said. Or go find your passion. And I feel like it's getting closer, right? Jeremy's opinion. I've been teaching technology for 20 some years, right? And there's one thing that I know. Very rarely do you just find your passion or follow your passion and it happens to be something that you can use to fund your life, right? I would suggest the word to use is create. Create your passion, which often leads to confusion because you're like, I liked the coffee. It just happened. I found my passion because I liked this cup of coffee, but I like, how do I create it? 3 steps, right? I've got 3 steps, just like everybody else. Everybody else on YouTube have 3 steps, and I finally came into 3 steps to create your passion, which will be the beginning of a journey that we'll take. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So first off, premise and fact. You will love what you're good at. The reason it's so easy to fall in love with coffee is because it's so easy. You make a good cup of coffee and you're like, oh, I love this, right? Think of this. If you can make that good cup of coffee, right? And you can make it for your friends and your relatives and everybody comes over, they're like, man, you make amazing coffee. People will begin to start saying, man, that guy's really passionate. The challenge is for most people that you're just not really good at something. So hang on. Step 2, become good at something. The little parenthetical there that people want. You can become good at making coffee, but there's a ton of people out there that make good coffee, right? And it's not such a high demand unless you can go the Dutch Brothers route, get a little coffee stand on the corner and start doing your thing. But the thing is a lot of people will become good at something because it's fun to become good at, right? A good baseball player, good soccer player, right? But there's a line that they'll hit where when you want to go past and become exceptional and really stand out, you really have to push yourself further, right? And the fact is, I'm using baseball. Major League Baseball players, it's funny because my son is really good at baseball. And, of course, as a dad, you're like, this kid, I'm always like, this could be something. Like, this could be something. And someone actually told me, they said, they gave me the actual number. I don't remember it. So many Major League Baseball players. And they said, the chance that your son actually makes it to the Major League Baseball, it's like he could roll the statistic off the top of it. And I'm like, okay, well, keep playing baseball. I appreciate that, but it's probably not going to be what you do. So find something that people want, right? Like everybody wants a Major League Baseball player, but there's only so many of them. When you think about careers, I know I'm kind of holding back on step number 3 because that's all of it, right? So find like technology. Obviously, I work in technology. And one of the things I'm going to lead to is what are the different paths of technology that you can take? That's coming, but there's a ton of technology jobs. If there's one thing that's emerging, I mean, everybody's got a phone, right? And the apps just continue to increase, and it's now moving into very productive things. I can get my pizza delivered by DoorDash, and everything else. Technology is exploding, so there's millions of jobs. You're not limited like you are with the Major League Baseball. Okay, so step 3, right? Step 3. So no, step 3. So what's that mean for you? I'll tell you what it means. To become good at something that people want, that's the career, it means ahead of you is a lot of good, hard work. What I have found, and I know this can lead to a ton of jokes and a lot of people, whatever. I have found that people actually do like to work hard. I mean, you know what it feels like when you've painted your house, right? And you're like, man, that was a ton of hard work, but I feel good. Like you get that like good feeling, right? That's what I want to launch you into. And this is the beginning. This is just the beginning. The way to find your passion, let me answer this as crisp as I can. The way to find your passion is to create it. And the way to create it is to become good at something that people want. So you need to become a master of a skill. And in future videos, I'm going to talk about what those skills can be. But that will be what gives you a passion. And I'm planning right after this, I'm going to record a video on how I ended up doing something that I love. How did I, and spoiler alert, I cheated. But I'll explain that when I get there. So for now, to become passionate about something, become good at it, right? To become good at it, you got to work hard at it. And I'm going to tell you what to work hard at coming up next.